Brought to you by GatewayCitySavers.com.
101ESPN.com presents the Redbird Report.
This offseason is going to be like several offseasons in years past for the St. Louis Cardinals when they don't know, as of right now, who their manager is going to be. Tony LaRussa has all these little idiosyncrasies, and one of them in his personality is that he goes into every year not knowing if that is going to be his final season. Well, the difference between this year and last year in 2009, the Cardinals were going to the playoffs then, and they knew they were going to the playoffs. So there was no reason whatsoever for Tony LaRussa to actually think about what he was going to be doing with his future because he had to focus on playing in October. Then the Cardinals went into the playoffs and obviously got swept in 3 very quick games against the Los Angeles Dodgers. So after that point, he needed a couple days just to get over the shock of being out of the playoffs, and then he could focus on his future and whether or not he's going to retire. 2010 is totally different. Tony has known the exact date, October 3rd, 2010, that the Cardinals season is going to end for at least the last couple weeks, maybe even 3 weeks. So he should, if I'm John Mozeliak, I would go up to Tony, not just today, but over the last couple weeks and say, look, Tony, there's a lot of things in this offseason that we need to figure out. The first thing that I need to do is figure out who my manager is going to be. So Tony should not need more than a few days after the season concludes on Sunday, October the 3rd, to figure out if he is going to come back or not. He should have already been thinking about this over the last couple of weeks, trying to figure out, all right, go through the checklist. Do the players respond to my message? Does the fire still burn inside of me as far as coming back and wanting to manage over the course of a 162-game season? Do I really want to do this for another year? There's a lot of down times in the day. He could do it when they've been on their flights traveling for road trips, when he's laying in bed before he goes to sleep at night. There's been plenty of down times when he's been able to check himself, figuring out if this is what he wants to do. Last year was last year. They were going to the playoffs, and there was no need to think about anything else. This year is different. He has known every game that they have played has been about 2011. So once the season concludes on Sunday, October 3rd, there is no excuse. There should be a press conference announcing one way or the other whether Tony's coming back, or Tony is going to retire, or Tony is going to move into some other position in the Cardinals organization. He has said before, keep in mind, that he would not mind being something to the effect of special assistant to the GM. He said that last year. So it's not just manager retirement, but either way, once the season concludes on Sunday, October 3rd, there is no excuse. There should be a press conference by Thursday or Friday determining whether or not he is going to come back as the manager so John Mozeliak can move on his checklist on what the Cardinals need to do in the offseason.